Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a time that I failed instructor certification that I was going for and how I turned that failure into a huge success in my life, in my business, and in my skills practice. My hope is that this video inspires you to keep going, even if you feel as though you're not succeeding in your endeavors, and whatever that may be. That can be different things in life. That could be a skills practice. That could be building a coaching business. That could be showing up on social media, whatever those things may be. I hope this will encourage you to keep it up and learn from those failures, to take those failures as fuel and feedback so that you can ultimately turn those into successes. All right, so backtrack with me just a little bit. This is 2021 and I was going for a BICP level 3 certification. Long story short, I took it in Flagstaff. My friend Jay was the instructor trainer. I had an awesome time. Also, my friend Scott was there, which was great because we were the only two people in the course. And it was a really good learning environment for me. I went into this instructor training thinking I was ready. I had practiced a ton. I had really built myself up as far as like my bunny hop and my nose pivot turn and like all of these different skills, these more advanced and expert skills that I thought I was ready for. And because I put in the practice and time and reps. However, when I got to the instructor certification, I was like flying through a bunch of the skills, track stands, nailed it, nailed a bunch of like North Shore dismounts, check, awesome, cornering, pumping, all the things. It was going really awesome. And then I get to the end of day 2 and I really struggled with my bunny hop and I really struggled with this nose pivot turn. And anybody who has tried for their level 3 or have practiced these skills know that they are challenging. They are expert level skills for a reason, and they are more advanced skills for a reason. And I love that about BICP, and I love that there is that standard. So let me first just say that I love that I had to really dig for this certification. And so of course I went into this with the expectation that I was going to pass. And when I didn't, because those 2 skills I was not able to meet the ride standard, I was so defeated. And shout out to Jay for just being such an amazing instructor trainer through that weekend, and Scott for being such a huge support system. But I was upset about it. And like, even as I'm talking about now, like I'd get like a little bit upset about it because the expectation was there and I set this bar for myself and I didn't meet it. I was super upset. I remember like calling my sister on the way home and crying and just being pissed and mad and all the feelings, all the emotions that go through not meeting an expectation that you set for yourself. And I just remember feeling super defeated. And so the cool thing was that I got the chance to submit videos for feedback through BICP so that I could still work on those skills. So literally the next day I went to work and I was like the next 2 days, I was straight back into practicing the feedback that I got from Jay. This was a time in my riding, and I talk about this a lot on my social media, when I had to regress my skills in order to progress. And what I mean by that is, the skills that I was working on, there were some missing pieces and some missing parts. And the fundamental elements of those skills were not in place. And so I couldn't implement the full skill. So I really had to hone in and regress my skill, like going back to square one on my bunny hop and that nose pivot, and really digging into the braking for the pivot, and really digging into a really good preload for the bunny hop. And if you have ever taken an instructor trainer certification before, you know that it's really nerve-wracking and there can be a lot of anxiety there because you're teaching in front of your peers and there is this expectation of you. And again, I love that there is that standard. I think that there should be a standard in the mountain bike instructing industry, and I think BICP sets the bar really high because not everybody is out there looking to get a level 3 certification. And I get that. And it was challenging for me. I started to dig into that skills practice. And lo and behold, out of this struggle and out of this failure came my 30-day mountain bike skills challenge. And I was going through all of the process of, myself gaining all these better skills, but I wanted to help other people gain these skills too, and especially instructors that were struggling with the same things that I was struggling with. So born out of that was a more solid 31-day or 30-day skills challenge. And that helped boost my online revenue for my coaching business, my remote coaching business, and it skyrocketed. And I sold that course so many times and I helped so many clients, even in-person clients of mine, wanted to have that structure of what and how to practice the skill after the lesson. So that was how I turned that failure into a success for me. At the time, I was so broken and so upset with myself. But through that skills practice, I really learned to regress my skill and so that I could help my clients, which is huge. And sometimes I think that as instructors, we're expected to get everything right and do all the things right and be like this perfect, person who can bunny hop and do all these advanced skills and like whatever it is. But that's not always the case. Like I struggle too, y'all. Like I have been teaching mountain bike skills for over 10 years this year. Started in 2014 and it's been over 10 years of instructing. And in that time, I have learned so much about myself, not just riding, not just skills, but learning how to trust myself and the mindset and resilience that it takes to build better skills, better endurance, and really get better on the bike. And through that, I've been able to build a successful business and gain clients and talk about my experiences. And it hasn't always been easy. And it wasn't like that process was linear, right? And failing that certification was a big slap in the face for me that I had to realize my skills were not at the level that I thought they were. And that was okay. It was all right because I knew that I needed to work for it. And I knew that there were things missing in my writing to get me to that level. And I pushed myself. I stretched myself. I really worked hard for the next couple of months. And in the next, 6 months, working with some really advanced instructor trainers, shout out Mike Holm and Jay Thomas and even Scott. Like, thank you guys so much for your help. That BICP family and even Shams and Nicole, like you guys helped me so much and encouraged me so much because even submitting videos and getting feedback, I learned how to coach myself. And I learned how to look at a video and pick it apart and be like, no, I need to go back and do this. Because sometimes, and this is why I feel that the power of video is so important, because sometimes we think we're doing something, but we're actually not doing that. And so when we look back at the video, we really learn how to coach ourselves and see all of the things that we need to work on and correct. So that was a huge learning experience for me and one of the most impactful for sure in my coaching career, but also in my riding career for sure, because I really had to go back to square one and teach myself these fundamental elements. So if that is where you are right now, and say you're an instructor, but even if you're not an instructor and you're just learning how to level up and better your mountain bike skills, kudos. Like, take the time, Implement the practice. This is why I talk about this so much, because I became the most successful version of myself when I had to stop and regress my skills and stop comparing my writing to what everybody else was doing on the internet. A lot of times, especially with social media now, it is so easy to look at what other people are doing or where their writing is at or where their coaching business is at, or, whatever you're here on this channel for. It is easy to compare yourself to others and to think that you're not good enough. You are good enough. You can do this. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy or that it's just going to be this like linear process, because it's not. And I don't feel like it is for anybody bettering their skills out there. That's the cool thing about learning new skills, is building that resilience and honing in those skills. And something else I think that's very important is through that process, you learn how to connect with your clients. That is definitely something that I've done through this process, because if I wouldn't have went through that challenging time learning new skills and challenging myself in my own writing and skill set, I wouldn't have been able to help people like I help people now. And this is why it's really important to always come from this beginner's mindset and come from and meeting people where they're at on their bike. So if you're a mountain bike instructor and this is resonating for you, you know what I mean. Meeting people where they are at is so important, and not going from like 0 to 100, but dialing it way back. And can you remember what it's like to be at that point in your riding? And so I would encourage you to start a skills practice. I mean, a lot of this YouTube channel is built on helping instructors succeed in their certifications, but also better their skills. And one of the biggest things that you can do is start practice now. That's what I'm getting ready to do right now. We're in the middle of Manual Mayhem, which is a manual challenge that my partner Phil and I am putting on for the month of May. You can actually buy it after the month of May, so if you want it, I'll put the link below. And I'm getting ready to practice my manuals in a parking lot. I'm taking the time today to better my skills. Someone out there has done it. That means that success is available to you, and you can do it too. So remember that as you are going through your week this week, and let me know if that resonates. I have a couple of really awesome opportunities coming up for mountain bike instructors. And if that's you and you want to start to build your email list, build your client list, fill up your private one-on-one roster, then get on my email list, because you're going to want to know about the upcoming courses that I have coming up. So thank you guys for being here and listening to turning your failures into your successes. And I hope this is helpful and really encourages you to keep at it and to keep showing up to your skills practice and bettering yourself on the bike, because you never know how it's going to lead you to these future successes. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching as always, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.